bipartisan things that we were not going to be able to find the Republican or the Democrat or the Independent, for that matter, to take the other side of the argument on. Let me give you an example. You probably know this. We're the least insured state in the United States of America. It means it's harder in Texas than anywhere else to see a doctor, to fill a prescription, and to go to a mental health care provider. Especially for those with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, clinical depression. East Texas, I just left Harrison County. There's not a single psychiatrist, psychologist, social worker, therapist that many people can go to relieve their symptoms. And you know where the largest provider of mental health care services is in the state of Texas today? It's the county jail system. Folks will literally get locked up on purpose to go to the one place they're guaranteed any kind of care, no matter how insufficient or immoral that might be. You and I are paying for $120 a night to keep someone locked up, the only place that they can go. For a fraction of that, we could expand Medicaid in the state of Texas, bring $10 billion in to this state of our own federal income taxes. Money you and I have paid up to the federal government comes back to us. Hire up those clinicians, those doctors, those nurses, those psychiatrists and psychologists. Connect more people with care. All I want is that you be well enough, healthy enough, to finish your education, to go to work, to raise your family, to run for office, to do whatever you were placed on this planet to perform in the first place, only you need to be well enough to be able to do it. The other thing that I want to make sure that we do, and this is something I hope that all of us can get behind, is that whatever the differences are between us, we seek out the common ground. No two people are ever going to agree on everything all the time. I'm here with my wife, Amy, who's right here. She can attest to this, 17 years of marriage. But we still find the things that matter most in raising our kids or running our house or running this campaign over the course of the last year. We find what the greater good is and both of us get behind it, and it is so damn fulfilling for us. It's a sense of purpose in our lives that I think every single person wants to have. And I say this because I don't know that this state, I don't know that this country has ever been as divided and polarized as it is today. We've got a governor who seeks to define us based on our differences, who wants us to be scared of one another. That fear can sometimes engender outright hatred. Let me give you some examples. You ask the governor about legitimate concerns that you might have, and he'll distract you or deflect and tell you to watch out for CRT, critical race theory, which, as far as I know, is a course that is only taught in graduate schools. But he wants you to think that your first grader or second grader is in a graduate level course on critical race theory right now. When the real challenge is, shouldn't we be able to tell the full story, the full history of the people of the state of Texas, right? Those of you whose ancestors came here 15,000 years ago, a reminder that right now we are standing on indigenous land. Others who were kidnapped from another continent, brought here in bondage, and forced to build the success and the wealth and the strength of this country without ever being able to partake in what they had made possible. And yet others who came here of their own volition because they knew that to stay where they were from meant certain death. For the O'Rourkes in the 19th century, to stay in Ireland in the midst of a famine that killed 1 million people meant to die. And so they came here to this country. Think about that when this governor tries to make you afraid of immigrants who are trying to come here right now for the same purpose. John Lewis, with whom I had the extraordinary honor of serving in Congress for 6 years, used to say, look, we all came here at some time in a different ship in a different year.